Shalom, Yahaba Shemel Shah, Yahal Shemar Elatah Ba Shemel Shah, Salakia, for the misunderstanding, I had some technical difficulties with the Wi-Fi though. So I'm back in action now though. So this topic is referring to brotherhood can solve conflict, right? And what I was saying before though is it's important to know that brotherhood can help solve conflict though, because with us executing proper brotherhood with the truth of the Bible though, we understand that we won't get into altercations, or we won't be gossiping about each other. And in order to get anything done as a nation though, we gotta have proper brotherhood. And I was saying, I was back at the precept with Psalms 133, verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. So that's the greatest. That's the greatest thing to ever happen, though. Far as like with the Lord's understanding, though, our nation of people, our race of people, though, Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation people living in unity, being righteous and understanding the spirit behind brotherhood. That is an extreme, practical, fundamental that we should practice every day, you know, and that's what's going to help us raise up and build this nation. That's what's going to help us be on top, for sure. And that's pretty much one of the only ways, right? I'll go to Hebrews 13 and 17. And again, so Salakia for the technical difficulties though, because I was bringing a lot of heavy, important information out early before the internet went haywire and start getting some issues. But we'll go to Hebrews chapter 3, verse 17. It. Oh, so like Hebrews 13 and 17. Hebrews 13 and 17. Okay. This is the book of Hebrews 13 and 17. Obey them that have the rule over you. But why is this even relevant though? Because when you obey a man that has authority over you, like a man of God, when you obey him that has authority over you, that's in righteousness though, you know, then you'll understand how to how when we do the work of the Lord though, there's no confusion, there's no arguments, and there's no conflicts, no different opinions, ideas. That we're all in the one mindset on far as like when we do the mission and how we deal with each other, though, right? And submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls as they that must give account, right? Because the men that's above you, though, they're accountable for you. You know, they're accountable for you, though. So everything that happens to you, they're held accountable for that, though. So we want to keep that in mind, right? As they that must, right, and that they that may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you, right? Is like, you know, as a priest and officer, it's my job to teach the truth, instruct the truth, and raise brothers and sisters, and take care and be there for brothers and sisters, you know, because the brothers and sisters situations come before mine, because I'm held accountable for them, you know. And a lot of times when a brother or sister understands that their officer or captain that's over them execute that situation, they beat her for them though. It shows that it shows that they're not thinking about themselves. You know, they're being mindful. You know, and it shows that how everything matters as far as like being accountable. You know, and nothing is better than that though, right? I go to Mark chapter 12, verse 31. This is the book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 31. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Right. You know, if you love yourself though, then you should be willing to love your own people, because we got to remember, we are our people. Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, we are who we are. You know what I'm saying? We the same nation. We come from the same forefather. You know, we we are those same people. You know, another uh, Black American man, another Latino man, another First Nation man or woman, whatever. Right? We are those same people. You know, there is none other commandment greater than these. Right? And that's one of those type of commandments that's extreme, though. You know, because how we treat each other and deal with each other, though, can solve a lot of issues with not dealing with conflict, and solve a lot of issues with not getting into altercations, or a lot of I'm trying to think of the other word though. Right, it would just reduce a lot of confusion among each other, right? Too as well. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 11, verse 14. Proverbs. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 14. Where no counsel is, the people fall. Right. So this is why we have counsel in our school, in our organization, though, because without it, the people will fall. All of us will fall short for sure. You know, counsel. The purpose of counsel is to heal us spiritually, in a spiritual manner. You know, so that we fight the battles that we have, fight the demons that we go, fight the temptations we got. Though every last one of us have temptations and different types of demons we battle, you know, and different things we encounter them. So we battle and encounter every day to be upright and be great as a people, though. You know, especially with Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, though, because um, we very opinionated people too, though. You know, but in the truth, though, you know, we follow one in one accord, and follow in one body, right, under Commander Jenny Hanado. At the same time, we still have like opinions and different personalities on other certain things. And when we deal with each other, though, when it refers to like how it's dealt with, though, what I'm saying. And if we get if we get offended and a situation gets too seriously, this is why it's important that we have the counsel, because without it, though, we fall as people. We, you know, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. And again, I mentioned before, though, what I'm saying, we got the generals, we have the captains, and we have the officers who are certified counselors to solve our everyday situations. Brothers and sisters contact General Mahaiman almost every day for their issues, what I'm saying, especially if it's personal issues, brothers and sisters in the school or brothers and sisters outside the school contact General Mahaiman, uh, brothers and sisters will contact certain captains who are in that field, and many certain officers who are in that field as well too, to stop to fight these temptations and demons. And that's a great thing. That's an amazing thing for our nation. So our people can be maintain a strong spirit, because again, Proverbs 11:14, where no counsel is the people fall. Like different religious groups break down, and different religious groups war against each other, and they have they will sometimes have altercations against each other, though, because they don't have the proper counsel. They're not even with fake Israelite groups, though. I say they break off after break off after break off after break off, though, because they don't have none of them have proper counsel. Well, none of them is in the proper body, which is the UPK, though, and then throughout time they start to build more and more demons, and it makes it harder for them. And without the proper counsel, they branch off. They claim to have counsel, though, but those men out there, they're not qualified to even counsel in the first place, because if they did, they wouldn't have been in the situations they are in the first place. See, whereas us in the UPK school, though, our thing is to make something that's so minute, to deal with it right now, so it doesn't get worse. Again, there's a history where a group was having sexual, well, not just one group, though, many other groups had sexual deviancy issues, and the men that was with them knowingly knew that these specific brothers already had sexual deviancy issues, but never addressed it and never dealt with it and never counseled them. So the situation got worse, though, to the point that the Lord had to expose them. But in the ISUPK, we spiritually destroy all that stuff, though. We don't allow none of that in our organization whatsoever. We deal with the most minor thing as soon as possible, so that minor situation doesn't get any worse, and it doesn't spread like a virus, like the things that happen in these fake groups, And before you know it, these fake groups, once they get exposed, it's only a matter of time to the Lord completely stop them from doing what they're doing, Right. Here's another precept, though. With that, though, to help destroy conflict along with brotherhood. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 1. Whoso loveth instruction, loveth knowledge. Right. Because as a man of God or a woman of God, and when you serve the Most High in this proper manner, if you love instruction and correction and understanding and important information on how the Lord wants us to conduct ourselves, though, then you will love this truth. And you will definitely love the ISUPK, because that's the home of the truth and that's the only truth. But he that hateth reproof is brutish, right? If you hate, if you hate for somebody to rebuke you for the disgusting things you got going on, or the things that you going off though, and it's not part of the protocol, you know what I'm saying, of things of that nature though, then you can't be a proper man of God, even myself as a priest and officer though, I get checked at times too though. Do I enjoy getting checked? No, hell no. I don't like. I'm just be real with you. I don't like getting checked too though. But at the same time, I understand though. If I receive that checking, I sit back and take time to think though, and be like, "Some, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have made that error. Maybe I shouldn't have made that mistake." And all that does is make me better and better and better, and more efficient, more efficient, and more efficient. You know, and it stops me from wanting to cause conflict, or you know, get in unnecessary situations with my other brothers and sisters when I shouldn't have to. And again, I get a credit to the Most High for being there with me, and guiding me, and then the men above me for instructing me on how to perform many things in this truth. You know, uh, let's go to Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. Right. So we should not have avenged nor hold any grudges against our own people, blacks, Latinos, African Indians. We should not do that at all. Do not have no vengeance towards your own people. Do not have no grudge towards your own people. Don't do that. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh. Right. So, right. Or I am the Lord. Right. We shouldn't do that. You know, we don't do that, because the minute we start to have we start to avenge or bear grudge against our own people that we be amongst with, though, that's when the conflict springs out. That's when the conflict can go to altercations, which results in somebody being unalive or going to jail for a long time or the rest of their life. Don't be that one. We gotta follow what Matthew chapter 18 verse 15 said, what Christ said. If right, it was Matthew's 18 and 15, right? If a brother or sister offend us, we pull a brother and sister to the side at a private or a designated area, isolated, and address the issue to him and him alone, her alone, to solve the issue, to keep it at a minimum. We don't want to cause any drama, or we don't want to cause no scene. We don't want to make a scene and draw attention and make the situation worse than it already is. So it's like throwing gasoline on fire, you know what I'm saying, or throwing water on an electrical fire. We don't want to do that, So we got to understand to I'm gonna go a verse above them, right? Leviticus 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart, right? Don't hate. You know what I'm saying? You can't have hatred and negativity towards your own brother or sisters of your own ethnicity, race, or nation. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? These are our people. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. If a brother now see if a brother or sister is going off, especially if it's like unlawful against the Most High, you have the chance to rebuke them. But but do it, but do it in a wise manner. Be intelligent about it though. Don't be an asshole, or don't be a dick about it though. You know what I'm saying? I'm making a point though. You know what I'm saying? Like, just use it. We got to learn to use intelligence. And and use common sense though. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wants some jerk or some asshole to check or rebuke somebody. Not like that. Even myself, though, I got to check my own self on how I correct other people though, or check other people. Even myself, I gotta I gotta work on that good too. Cause you know what I'm saying? Because I like to make sure nobody's going off though, but I gotta check myself to make sure I'm not being a jerk or an ass or anything. Seriously. So even myself, and not suffer sin upon them. Right. Don't make a brother do something that you know that's unlawful. Right. Rebuke them, check them. Do it with intelligence though. Do it righteously though. Doing the, you know what I'm saying? Don't depend on the circumstances though. Because we all different though. And still though, even though we all got different personalities, though, still use wise intelligence on, you know what I'm saying, rebuking and checking a brother and sister though. To avoid conflict and altercations. And you know, don't suffer, no, you don't make a brother or sister commit any transgressions or do something unlawful or do something that's weird that that's off though. That you know, that's something that's righteous to do. Last precept, and we're in the class today. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Great important topic though. Slacky again for the internet technical issues. But I'm assuming you definitely got a lot of meat and potatoes of this information, of this topic. And for brothers and sisters that got the meat and potatoes from the first information before that, it was internet technical issues. Most High in Christ, but that was like extreme right there. That was an extreme. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. I said right. This is the book of Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means. Right. No, let nobody, I mean, absolutely nobody lie to you by any means. Or, how should they, what's that word they say? Beguile you, or, you know what I'm saying? It's another word besides deceive. Beguile you, or it's for that day shall not come except that come a falling away first, that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Right. See, in this school though, our job is to teach the truth and the understanding of the Most High and how the way He wants it done in proper context. You know, and also with that being said, we teach the truth for our brothers and sisters though in the ghettos, gutters, boroughs, and reservations, so that we as a nation of people can reveal the man of sin, which is the oppressors in America, right? And our other natural enemies and that's living in America. And by us doing that and doing it righteously, though, we can avoid a lot of different conflicts and altercations and all types of goofy stuff about who live in this block, who live in that block, what set you from, what set you claim, what crew you from, what crew you represent, all this other stuff that falls with the philosophy of America or white supremacy that can destroy our people if we don't um, understand this truth, or better yet, get under the ranks of Commander Jenny Hanna and learn from the man in the ranks of Commander Jenny Hanna on how we can avoid war conflicts and things of that nature, though, in the spirit of brotherhood. That's it for this class. I'm a module, which means to stand. ISUPK security announcements. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10 of Hebrew, by Ishra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to general priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. So we have the memorial of blowing of trumpets, first day of the 7th month, Friday, September 11th, 2026. The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24 through 26. Remind Akim and Aquathium to check bulletin board in the hallway if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, black boots, black shirt, black pants, black headband, black scarf. With that being said, let's give a courteous salute to the teacher, which is myself, men of Israel, Majum, which means stand, Ahmad Shabbat, Amajum, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua Barakatah, Yazmatah, sorry, which means to turn. Let's give a courtesy salute to the sisters or the Aquathium. I need the sisters or the Aquathium to stand or get at Amaju. Men of Israel, Amaju, Ahmad Shabbat, Amaju, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Alatha, Ba'ashem, Yahshua, Yazmatah. Class dismissed.